Hello, I'm Scrapping Amy with One Mommy Scrapping, and I am planning for happy memories. Today I am going to be scrapbooking these 5 photos from Disney World, doing a 2-page layout using 6x6 paper pads. So let's get started. Before I start the process video, I want to talk about some of the decisions I've already made. I am going to be including 5 photos from Port Orleans Riverside, which is the hotel we normally stay out when we go to Disney. I have 3 outdoor photos, 2 indoor photos. And I went through all of my Disney stuff. Echo Park happens to be my favorite because they put the white in there, and you don't really see that with the simple stories, say Cheese Line. So I have the Magical Adventure 2, and I also have the 6x6 pad. That really doesn't matter quite so much with this because all of these go together. It wouldn't matter if I had Magical Adventure 2 in 12x12 and Wish Upon a Star in 6x6. All of their colors work. But because this is a 6x6 class, I wanted to make sure that I had something that I knew I would have a large enough library to choose things that I like. So the paper that I'm going to be using in the background is this, which for me is a very busy paper, but this is one I happen to have 2 on. And I also like that when you put them together, it actually is like a continual flow. Like, that makes me happy. But this also has 4 different colors on white. So we've got the red, yellow, blue, and black, which means that when I pull my 6x6 papers to go across, I can pull something from each of those colors, and I probably have things that actually work quite well together. I know I will. So these are the ones I picked out to begin with. I have a stripe, a polka dot. I was a little wary of the polka dot because this is a dot background, but this is a disorganized dot. This is not, plus this is like Minnie Mouse dot. I have a blue chevron, and then I have black with stars, and I'm a little wary on this one because again, it's got all of the colors and it's kind of a scattered confetti look like this is. As I was looking through some of my other papers, looking for other elements that I wanted to add, I opened up the Close to My Heart papers that I have, and this one was one of the ones in there, and this gives me a 6x6 square. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use this for accents, and this is going to be my 6x6 block. I will just trim it down. I've got some red and yellow and now the black with stars to do some matting of the photos. And then the sketch class, I have a link down below to the sketchbook. The class though has already been closed, and unfortunately, you're not able to join the Facebook group at this point. But she gives us those 20 sketches in that book, all using 6x6 pads. And then in the class for each week, she's giving us variations on it. So I'm taking the single page 6x6, and I'm looking at one of her sketch variations on making it a 2-page layout. Now, for hers, she's got a lot different sizes of photos. She's got 3x3 primarily, and then she's got some 3x3 scattered here. She's got some 3x3 and 6x3 along the bottom, and it's just like, whoa, I don't have that. And I definitely don't want to cut down these a lot because they're scenery photos, so I want the scene. I've gone through each of them and looked, and like, I can cut like a 1/2 inch off. I'll cut a 1/2 inch off here because it's the continuation of the sidewalk. This one, I decided I liked the brickwork there for the bridge, so I'll cut off a little bit on this side. This one is slightly uneven. I'm going to try to even it up a little bit. And on this one, I'm going to cut off this side because all you're getting really is the cash register and the snacks. I've also decided that I'm going to put the 2 indoor on the right side, the 3 outdoor on the left. And when I was going through the things, I happened to come across this card, which gave me the idea of pulling in some of these 3x4 cards to sit in place of photos. So to get started, oh, and then there's some edging ones along the 4x6. So first thing I did, I pulled out this to use as like a little thin strips. And I pulled out this as well. I wasn't sure if I was going to get anything that had that craft brown in it. But looking at the back, I was like, I'm all set for this one. I really like this card though, so I want to cut this card, which means I need something else. And since I'm not using anything else that's the craft, I didn't really want to then pull in the craft and black stars. So this is one of my favorite papers, and I don't think I've ever actually used it as the red chevron, because the other side are all these strips, which I love these cut apart strips when you have a 2-page layout, because then obviously I've got 2 of them and I can continue it all the way across, and it can be a unifying element even if my background papers are different. So I am going to go and trim some of this up, and then we're going to get started. All right, so now I have some things trimmed up and some things that are still not trimmed at all. I did go ahead and trim away these 2 cards. I'm keeping what was left on this one because I can always use either side to tuck things in. I could even cut that little firework off and use it as a label for something. So I like to keep things like that. I did not trim this up. I ended up deciding I was just going to go with plain black mats for all of the photos. I've already got a pattern in the background, 4 patterns from the 6x6, plus the strips along the side, so that's a 6 pattern. And I remembered I didn't realize I had already owned this, and so I bought a second set of the stickers. So I also have more pattern that I can add in by putting this one or the black one in there too. So I'm just going to wait and see how it looks. So before I trim anything up, because I can always trim it up on another day, I'm leaving it whole. Same thing for this, because I'm looking at this trying to decide which ones. I like this one, I like this one, I like this one, I like this one, I like this one. And I'm going, okay, all of these would work actually, except maybe mouse in the house. Hopefully there's not a mouse at our hotel. But I decided, you know what, again, I'm going to leave this whole. I've got 2 I know I'm going to be using, and then once I finish, I can see what spots I have left to add that in. So that leaves the 2 border strips that I'm going to use. The 4 6x6, which I have cut all these down. This one was a 12x12. Oh, I do like that other side too. But the blues are very different. So this was a 12x12, but I happen to like this pattern more than this one because it was just the black and white, and my photos. So now we're actually going to get started putting this layout together. First up to do is getting everything inked. I am using my Distress Ink Black Soot for this. I'll go ahead and do the blue strips, which I end up regretting. And then after I regret it, I actually figure out a way that I was like, oh, this is going to actually work. Something that I mentioned earlier, we're having the 2 sets of stickers. I don't normally do that. I apparently forgot I had this complete collection. So when I picked it all up, yet again in individuals, I was like, oh, I've never used these stickers before. Well, I was right. I hadn't used those stickers before, but I still had them. They just hadn't been used. So I'm deciding the blue is not going to work well under the square mats. It's not going to work well under or at the bottom or nor the top of the layout. Then I get this idea of what if I flipped over one of them and used it as kind of a title place. So it's going to stretch across both of the pages and really give me that an extra space to kind of rest the title without it being over top the changes in color with all of the polka dots. And I can't do a layout without having a photo lifted up. You know me. So step 1 is to put down this first blue. What I really like about this is, in addition, is the fact that I now don't have the blue dots against the blue chevrons. And that's why I trimmed the edge off of the red chevron, because I didn't want it up against the red polka dots. So for the stars, I went ahead and just trimmed up 2x6 strips. I used 2 of them. I was going to use a third one, but I accidentally moved my hand and apparently cut it. Moving my hand and cutting things became a running theme with this page. These stickers that I have are little tile letter stickers. They are from Nicole Jones 911, and they're really cool because they're printable ones. So I actually printed it out using my Silhouette Design Studio, and then I put it on sticker paper and then had my Silhouette cut out all of the individual letters for me. So now I actually have a lot of tile letters. I'm going to go back, I think, and get some more of the different colors, because I miss my mini market stickers from October afternoon. What you just saw me doing there was trying to decide if the subtitle I wanted to use, Home Away from Home, was going to fit. I wasn't sure. And when I finished, I ended up with a little bit of a blue gap, so I could have actually done what I originally wanted, which was Our Home Away from Home. But at this point, I did not want to deal with peeling up all of those letters and scooting them all down again. So this is of our hotel, Port Orleans Riverside, which I think I mentioned in the very beginning. Now I'm going through all of my different embellishments. For my Disney stuff, I tend to organize that a little bit differently. I keep these little paper pockets, and I have all of my stuff kind of stuffed in those in a drawer right next to me. So they're not with the rest of my normal embellishments like I have on my Clip It Up or in a drawer. It really, because it's something that I have so much of and something that I want to be able to go through quickly, I wanted it someplace that I could get to it fast. So it's literally in an arm's reach in the fourth drawer down at my desk. And I keep them separated by the kind of embellishment. So one of the bags has all of my cut apart pieces, and that's what I've done with these tickets. Now, I want to tell you right now, spoiler alert, the tickets end up all working and they look great. However, before that, I end up gluing and peeling up those stickers more, or those tickets more times than I can count. And I do catch the fact that that black star paper is on top of the chevron when it needs to go under. That little cut right there was a literal cut. I was snipping the foam backing and snipped right through my finger. So yeah, we went and had a cut out a big 10-minute chunk there where I wasn't in the room, and stuck a band-aid on it and moved on. Wasn't too bad. Now, the paper I cut these tickets from is a 12 by 12 sheet, and I like to save even the little parts that are off. Like you only get half of a ticket or piece of a ticket. I save those and I use them because they're great layering pieces. And that's what I did with those. All except I think 3 of those tickets are partial tickets. Everything else is a full size, or everything else is a piece of a full size ticket, which is fun to do. And it gives you a little more options when you've got bits that you know you're going to put underneath. It took a little bit of time to kind of get it going for me, but once I figured it out, it worked quite well. These little paper bows that I'm adding into all the little spots are ones that I had made with some scraps and a die a long time ago. I just kept them in a little bag. I was like, oh, this would be perfect. So one went on the Today Was Worth the Wait. Another is going with the journaling, not the journaling card. It's a 3x4 card. There's no journaling on it. It's covered with words. And then another one is up at the title. I add the little hello oval. And I'm going through just trying to find the rest of the little finishing touches. I really wanted something yellow down at the bottom with Magic is in the Air. And the only thing that really seemed to work well was that yellow balloon. The other smaller piece with the balloons on, I wanted to use so much. And that's, I put the foam tape and everything on, and I could not seem to figure out a good spot. But now those two really linked in quite well there together. I'm adding my little phrase strips, which I really enjoy putting on my layouts. Puffy stickers didn't quite seem to be what I needed. Here I am going, wait a second, that doesn't match up. And let me peel everything back up again, because it's not a layout by me unless I have something peeled up and put back down. So we're doing our red, berry, dandelion yellow, calming aqua, simply black, no wait, simply white, and I can't remember what the black one's called now. Just black? Black ebony? I don't know. Anyways, putting all the Nuvo drops on. Close-ups are coming up. If you liked this layout, would love if you would subscribe and give this a like. And let me know, what kind of layouts do you like to make? Are you doing 2 pages or 1 page? Leave a comment down below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.